They say the snow is dead, but we've learned to the contrary. Snow is ever-changing, unstable, restless. We survived the Great Storm. It took away a lot from us. Still, it gave us something in return. Tempestuous winds brought relics of the past to light, ones that can bring hope for the future. Our assignment was simple: arrive at the site, build a reliable camp, and create a stable chain of supply. In return, we'd get food and necessities. A square deal. But deals have this peculiar quality. Just like the snow, they tend to change.
I really like the music in the game. It's subtle enough that it's not annoying, but it fits really well. We are the Outpost team. Great Storm has uncovered an underground army warehouse from times before the evacuation. New London sent us here to build an outpost and gather any resources we find. We must rely on New London for food. There are no animals to hunt here, and the ground is solid rock. Thankfully, the weather is fine for now, so we should survive without the generator until we have other ways of heating. Oh yeah, let's get the steel faster and maybe the upgrades faster for it. Next workers here. I wonder if we... Gathering. Oh, it doesn't reach the other one there, okay. Well, we do want to tag immediately. And I guess that's all the wood we can gather anyway. And then next day we get a gathering post here. Oh yeah, we need the medical places too fast again. Because apparently it gets, too cold. Next here and... Actually, oh. I kind of forgot our scouts. Oh, we need wood for that. That's the other thing we wanted to end up as soon as possible. If we get independence from London, we should be able to choose our own laws, though, no? Because we couldn't do that. None here, and then a scout team. See if we get the engineers faster, we might be able to get the medical problem under control faster too. So, gathering post here and then houses there. And the medical. Those are the next few things we're gonna get. Hey, free time. How many people do we have? 70. Medical post and gathering post here. Well, it doesn't let me build the road. There we go. And then we'll provide shelter for everyone. Yeah. Sounds fair enough. People. Ants. Well, it's not going to be enough, but it's a start. Touch with New London. Yep. After housing, we'll build that. Construction here, and we'll get this. I guess I need the cookhouse too. Forgot about that. Minus 20 degrees sounds good for you. I mean, better than, you know, other things. At least this content is going down through providing shelter for some people. All those are engineers. 5 of them there. Let's go there. To work in the gathering place here first. Isn't it better to wait till they ask for the house so it gives an extra hope? Yep, we did that. That's why we have to provide shelter quest there. I waited for that and then, well, I can't build all of the housing anyway right now. Then again, you don't have a generator to heat them up here, so I guess they do get cold and sick a bit. So we never had a hope problem, so I don't know if it's worth it. We did have problems with sick people though. Okay, you need a large corridor in the darkness. Filling it, we find lots of animal, possible human bones, hearing teeth marks. We are in the lair of a large predator, probably a bear. Countering living beings. Terrifying and sad place. An animal that lived here was for a long time feeding on the prey hunted in the area. After searching the cave, we found the predator, a bear mother with young cubs. Lying huddled together in the farthest corner of the cave. They did not survive the great storm. Carry on. Rumbling hut. Hang on, actually. Free time. I want the engineers in here, cause we'll send them. Oh, next year. We'll build them another thing. Medical place. And then we'll send them there. I so wish we could have extended ours already.
Get a move on. There's work to do.
That's the gathering research. Nice. I guess we do need the sawmill for sure. And we also need those eventually. Are automatons in this DLC? Well, it says we can't use, like, you don't have a generator, so you can't really refill them. Tech-wise, I guess I haven't gotten far enough, so... There's the factory, but a lot of the automaton stuff is missing here, so I assume no. Yeah. I mean, some stuff, like, we unlocked another tech tree here when we claimed the warehouse, so I don't know if something gets available, but for now, my assumption would be no. Oh, we also need the cookhouse. Right. Wreckage depleted. This, and then... I guess we can't use this until we have orders from New London. We don't have wood for that. Just put one person in there to see if it works, the rest can. In these other places, I guess. Great. I'm off the coal. 5 people, not 24-hour workers. John. Yeah. We can't set the laws in this one either. But yeah,
Unwavering
it's like it's not
purpose.
working until we... Yeah. Get orders from them. Meaning we do need the administration ASAP. And then... I guess I also need more housing though. Maybe we can get everything in time. And by everything I mean enough wood.
Time for a breather. See you tomorrow.
Doesn't seem that way. How long do we have for this? Time left 1 day. Let's build them the tents first. Get the transport depot is the next thing we'll get then. Next day. No shipment sent. Oh. So where are my engineers? I want to try to stay on top of the medical situation this time. One of them here. And there. Yes, we do need the transport before we can do anything there. One feels relieved at the roof, even a flapping one over their head. The building, once heavily damaged, has been repaired to provide some protection against the weather. Smoke is spilling from its makeshift chimney. We knock and armed people answer the door, but they lower their weapons when we assure them our peaceful intention. We soon find out that we are their last hope. Domesticated, hungry, and sick, and their supplies are running out. We learn from them that previous inhabitants of this place were killed by wild animals. It would be nice if we could hunt here. Escort them. I mostly want the engineers, but yeah. I can't choose who we get. Keep going for this for a while? I hope so. I hope so.
Bundle up. It's getting colder.
I'm in coal. Because we don't really have anything that we can hit with. We don't have to attack yet, so I thought we might get that before the first cold wave, but we don't, so it doesn't matter. Would have gotten more wood then.
New London is waiting. Get a move on.
Oh, almost everyone's hungry. Let them build this and then... Well, I guess it's gonna take a while either way. Razors. Temperature in the vicinity. I wonder if we would build it one up if it would be better. No. Oh, didn't let the research go. Oh, still can't get that going until we have. We'll need sawmills eventually anyway. How long is this research? Oh no. Nope. I guess I need more wood and stuff too. get the higher level take. Good day, Outpost 11. Well done with the progress so far. We'll send you the first food shipment soon. Now that the operation is established, we await the first batch of steel from your outpost. In the meantime, we are dispatching a group of clerks to run the outpost administration. The children will arrive with them. They're surely eager to rejoin you. Remember that we can always assist you with any problems. Hey, Saffron. Must have been some misunderstanding. Our children were not supposed to join us. Certainly not so soon. It won't make things any easier for us. But it's too late to turn them back, and at least New London promised to also send food our way. Hopefully, they'll keep to the schedule. Oh, we really need more food. Oh. Let's ask for food immediately, because that's always been our problem. Use up the favor. Oh, only 20? Wow, that's not much. Oh, now we can actually populate this. I will switch people around after shift ends. They'll be home soon too, meaning we get more engineers. Those up. And well, I guess we want more houses too. I think 33 people. With some streets. Here we go. If it's so cold, how on earth do they grow food? We can't grow it here. We have to get it from New London. Which I guess they're hunting. In the base game you can hunt, and then at some point you can get steam cores to, I guess, heat up the place and then build greenhouses. Also hide at my ID. Unfortunately, apparently there's no animals around here for this scenario, so we have to rely on outside sources to send us food. Which they're not very good about, which is causing all our problems. We have returned. Oh, they're hungry too. It's weird, like, it said they would send us food, and this is my requested food specifically, so there should be a second thing they are sending us. It's a bit weird. Oh, fully populate that. Then I guess I could go for another workshop.
Shifts over. Leave your workplaces in order.
Oh yeah, scouts are back. And over here. Yeah, it seems weird that they didn't send the other food grade. I guess I shouldn't have asked, and then would have the favor and still actually got more food. Like we got 40. This seems pretty terrible. Oh. Like we're what, 2 days in and everyone's starving and there's nothing I can do about it. I guess we'll need more housing for when they arrive too. Who's out? We still have engineers, yeah. Well, we'll need more medical places anyway too when the kids arrive. Okay, now they're sending the other one. Oh, that's gonna be late. Thanks. This. So the Glags and Benny London tour and the others are here. They brought our children with them. Many of our people are really upset because it looks like our kids were neglected. They haven't enough warm clothes and some of them caught in the cold on the way. But now that they are here, we can take proper care of them. Yeah, just need more housing and more medical places. People are eating raw food. Well, the food just arrived. Give me 1 second to cook it. Well, this is not ideal. Someone's starving. We're out of coal too. Well, I can actually turn this off until the night. Okay, so yes, housing first, medical places next, and then looks like we need 3 houses though. Oh, not enough wood for it either. Out of reach to collapse building. Yep. Okay, look at that. We're standing in front of a ruined building, whose purpose we cannot guess. It is possible that it's only a remainder of a larger glory. Perhaps it was a mountain shelter or maybe a military watchtower. A shred of white flag flutters in the wind above it. God only knows how it survived. There's no telling whether it has always been white or has lost all color over time. I'll take the resources and move on. I'm getting more food in a second, so... I want to cook that instantly. Hopefully it's all cooked for the night then. Connect it once it's built. Almost research. We still don't have the other research thing here. I don't know when we unlock that. still. How much do we need for this? 50 wood. We'll research the heaters then. We'll need those, sure. Actually, oh, yeah, I don't have heaters, so I can't turn that on there. We need more medical facilities for sure. Oh, with great news, the warehouse contains an unknown but very large number of steam cores. Immediately send the news to New London and await instructions. In the meantime, we might try to haul at least some of them to the surface. Require stopping fuel extraction. Yeah, no, not yet. Oh. One more medical outpost. Third, the cache of steam cores we found in a warehouse. This is a very timely discovery. These devices are critically important for the security of the city. We sent a couple of steam cores which each steel shipment from now on. To help you ensure timely deliveries, you are hereby authorized to use emergency shifts. If you encounter any obstacles to your progress, talk to us and we'll find a solution. Talk. Oh, we don't have any favor, so we can't do anything anyway. Wonder if we should do an emergency for this. We have a lot of discontent already. But... Wounds depleted, well. I'll actually do emergency shift here, I think. Maybe there and in the gathering post. Oh wow, that's a lot of discontent though. Holy crap.
Work's over for today. Time to get some rest.
Actually, most of this is depleted. That emergency stuff doesn't do much for us. Can we cancel this? So that was a lot of discontent for nothing because it's already all gathered. Menu medical post. Already underway. Ah. This is Iron Harvest? No, this is Frostpunk. Still no plans for cannibalism just yet. Not that it's looking great. People died. Work accident. Oh, that's unfortunate. Nope. If it was just end this work shift there, I would have been fine, but I don't want to end the work shift over here. Those more engineers towards healing. All that is gathered too. I always forget to turn these things on. I need that global button. Ruins depleted. Oh. Or this. People in here. Sending us more food, which we desperately need. Fever average. Yes. Those of dead bodies. Well, that was a lot of discontent again. People. A bit. How much does it cost actually? None. Okay, well that's good. Well, I can build another medical outpost. Like we'll get enough wood for the next research, I think. Anyway. Crazy how much medical places we need though in this colony. Okay, reach the stone wall. A wall-like rock formation crosses our path. It almost looks like the work of human hands. Notice some snow-covered shapes in a niche sheltered by the rock wall. A while of digging, we uncovered several frozen bodies huddled together by a couple of broken sleds. Judging from their clothing gear, they were scouts like us. We also found some valuable resources in this. Yep, get on. Would literally be better to fling the corpses off the edge cliff rather than leaving them in a pit. Yeah. I mean, there's one law, I think, where you can use those corpses later for stuff. I don't remember what it was. But yes. Okay, sending them back. It's in the laws. It's one of the choices where yeah, organ transplants you can later do. I guess they decided against the funerals. Food for the starving. That too. I guess, yeah, it would have been better to have the tech people do an emergency shift instead of those here. They gathered all the resources anyway, like would have been finished in a second. Go. Hopefully that'll help with treatment. I mean, if this content drops enough, we could do another emergency shift with the engineers too. Yeah, I'll switch to steam courts in a bit. They're still sending food, so I'm gonna send the stuff to them when they stop sending food, basically. All this content fell quite a bit. Maybe we do the tech emergency shift if we still haven't unlocked the other thing here. I don't know. I wonder. Also, switching takes a bit of time, so I like to do it when they're not working. Which I guess since they're an emergency shift, they'll work for a while. I guess we might have to switch during it. Leaders research. Oh. Oh no. Oh, it's there now. Handcard. Oh, maybe it was there earlier, I just didn't see it. Oh, maybe. Oh, so can use 50 wood to increase the efficiency by 50% for 12 hours. Maybe it's not that bad because you can get enough wood. Like you have enough workers for that. I thought this would be terrible because, you know, 50 wood is a lot for just 12 hours. But maybe we should do that. Well, first 10 cards and then we'll see. Also, it's warm enough we can turn this off. It's still cold already though. Maybe we can prevent a lot of sick, but we already have problems there. What grades depleted? At these places. And then, well, we don't have food anyway. Oh wait, it's coming in a second. No, let's keep them in there then. And we prepare the gathering post for this here again. So they, yeah, when the next cold hits, they don't have to work in the cold. Or less so, at least. How long is the emergency shift going? Do I need steel for anything else? Might switch to course. Course. Again, it doesn't take that long to switch. I shouldn't be that hesitant to do it. More research. I've safely returned. Oh, we have a lot of steel now. Good. Any buildings we haven't built in it that we need? No, no. The only one is Resource Depot, but don't need that. And cut research, nice. Do we get from the upgraded? Why did we want that? Get the coal mining. More scouts didn't seem worth it. But start getting bunkhouses too. We might want to build a bit more street there so we can build the other brazier one tile over. Where's all those? And then where's the rest here? Hang on, wait. Well, it doesn't cover the one in the back there. Yeah, actually. Do that. Workers in the cookhouse, right? Yeah. For some reason there. Before we just had one worker in the cookout and then what in us. Now I have 5 and it's not working. Weird. And then it's food crate, but it's getting less. Here's average. I wonder if it makes sense to do this. Good, so we can fighting arena in it. Oh. Interesting, that's different what they did last time. Just the fighting arena mean actually. Units will reduce discontent. I mean, yeah. Last time it just gave us the public house, which is further down. Interesting. Possibly go wrong. I don't know. I guess it doesn't cover all the houses. Yeah, either way. Cover a good chunk of them. We built the fighting arena. we don't even need to do anything for it. Well, still have medical problems. I still don't know how to fix that. Because, yeah. Except for one tech building, all my engineers are already working on healing people. It's ups and downs, but real life, let's keep it away. Yeah. Oh, it has a cool line to do this again.
To work. Let's get this shipment ready.
And actually the number of sick is going down, I guess. Next food is coming soonish. Drawing boards researched. We could rush for the freight elevators. Or get the better medics. I can also then get the more efficient burners, improved heaters. Like a lot of these things isn't that helpful for us right now. We might need the coal mining again. We'll take a steam core, which we don't have yet though. I think it's either coal mining or we just go for the next one. We'll get this, and then the upgrade, and then we'll get the coal mining. First steam core 2. And ask for favors right now. No favors low. The problem, you've dispatched the scheduled steel and steam core shipment to us. If it was fulfilling your duties, we grant you the right to introduce the extended shift. Use it lightly. Okay. Oh, it takes a second until it takes effect. Those work shifts. Or we can't extend it because it's already an emergency. Wait, no. Okay. We're on burning coal here. I guess the heat is okay right now. It's gonna get colder in a second though. Our workers unloading the last stream of food from the land knows that's quite a bit smaller than usual. The news is of course already all over the outpost, causing much anxiety and anger among our people. Let's hope it's just a mistake, not a sign of trouble at home. And shifts during 24-hour overtime. Well, I guess we have to wait out the cooldown. Sometimes due to circumstances beyond our control, your food supply will be reduced until further notice. To you that the shipment will return to agreed sites as soon as possible. We hope this inconvenience will not impede your progress. We expect you to keep the shipment on schedule. Oh yeah. Who are you guys? Indeed, a large building stood here once. The size and number of chimneys suggest that it might have been an inn, but now there's collapsed remains are all that stands among snow and ice. Oh, let's go to the fishery. Oh, I guess people will be hungry for a long time. And again, I guess soonish we can send some shipments. Yeah. How's this going actually? Gonna get exhausted soon, and how's this? We work just in the other places. So the first shipment is ready to be sent to New London. Visit the Outpost Administration, ask the clerks to open a communication line for we will be able to stage this shipment. I wonder if there are... Like, there doesn't seem to be a place for the wood thing. Like, what happens when we run out of the wood there? Do we send them the first shipment? I guess we do. Well, they're not sending back the food though, like, that's the weird part. As the dispatch of your first shipment, well done. The steam cores mean a lot to our people. We're pleased that you know that we plan to send you food shipments every day. Just keep these steam cores and steel coming. If the supplies you provide are deemed insufficient, we'll have to think of some consequence. Remember, if you run into problems, let us know. We'll look for a solution. I feel like it's getting worse by activating that. Like, I feel like you shouldn't send them something for a long time. Sir, the news that New London is pleased to tell us that they'll keep sending us food they always spread among our people, causing a lot of resentment and anxiety. The vague consequences they threaten us with, shall we fail to please them, further fan the flames of outrage. All everyone is talking about now is how we should use the steam cores to help us first, since we found them and have no generator, unlike folks in New London. Oh yeah. Should be working too. Work here, I guess. Yeah, so they're not sending us food for this shipment this time. I don't know why the first shipment never gives you food. it feels better to not send it. Because afterwards it ends what they're sending me. So... But this is just our normal 30-day food crate. It feels like it's best to just use all the steel until they complain. Maybe there's other consequences then. We might do another 24-hour shift there. Well, at least the ill are going down quite heavily.
It's getting colder.
Well, I guess it's getting cold. Let's put some of the people in warm places, I guess. Yeah, can live with low risks.
Get to work, people. Shipment is waiting.
Sheltered Cove was a convenient place for fishing once until seas froze and thick snow covered everything. Strong winds blew the snow away, revealing remains of fishermen huts. We found some food, but remains of the fishermen's hut tents are scattered among the ice. The wood is crushed to splinter. It won't be of any use to us. Like 7 raw food is awfully little. Not here. Crafting machines too. Right, elevators. And then afterwards we'll get the hole, probably. And again, we might only build that once we don't send them steam cores anymore. Because we want to get as much food as we can. Nobody here. Here. Oh, that food was gone instantly. Full pile depleted. That's okay too. And for New London, ready to dispatch. Yeah.
Time for a breather. See you tomorrow.
Another emergency shift there. And then we'll get more engineers into takeoff the next day. Elevators research, nice. We can make them fast, so it doesn't seem great. We could use improved heaters, to be honest. Because the other place gets too cold whenever they do things. Maybe you should just shut down the Cotan if people are really starving and you just let them eat. Well, then they start eating the raw food, which I guess is less food. But you get more food portions out of cooking it. And I'm worried they're just gonna eat my raw food. But that's, yeah. There might be a perfect timing to do it, I guess. And I don't know it. We could do the wooden supports because we're full on wood. And again, like, seems to be limited wood anyway. Seems like coal mining wasn't enough anyway, so we might need the coal thumpers. Either way. We're running out of stuff to do for our workers anyway right now. Like, we have full wood. The resources piles are running out anyway. Let them cook, but don't let them eat, so they can't eat raw. I don't know if you can tell them to not eat, to be honest. Yeah, I might just get the coal thumper. How much is these upgrades? 150. It seems like we get 3 resources here if we go this far. Or, oh no, it's just the upgrade for 5. I wish you could see what these upgrades do. It would make things so much easier. Also a ton of steel to research that. Either way, we won't have enough steel to send them. Like, no matter what we research. No, I guess this is the only one that doesn't. Go with the cold slumpers. You can turn off the building, but then they start eating the raw food. Which I really don't want them to eat the raw food. When assigned to invention has refused to work, he said that he's already worn out and doesn't want to end up dead like one of his friends. Wait, either way, discontent will rise. I'll let him rest. We have enough workers right now. Also, heaters need to be on. We need nobody in these places. Anyway. And ask for more food. I'm just needing some food. Goes up, it turns out that the building is not in such a good condition as it seemed. The walls are partially collapsed, dome structures damaged, and part of it fell inside. Oh. Take the resources. Let's go to there. In 12 hours. Then we have public executions in 30 minutes. I mean, we have a fighting arena. We could, just use that for it, no? Oh, we don't those on extended shifts anymore. Let's do that. I mean, I would try it. Once we get a 5th core, we'll switch back to steel, and then we can send them resources. We got a lot more sick people again. It's depleted. Fence. Maybe I shouldn't worry about not having enough wood. And just use it to mine stuff faster there. I'll switch to steel. Oh, favor's high. You need more food. Clearly a resource management problem on your side, but we have no idea how to solve it. New law will be passed. London's favor will be exhausted. Well, I mean, it's not like I have a choice, but food economic edict. To ensure the survival of the country, to mitigate the temporary food shortage, the government of New London issues an act regulating the use of raw food. This day-on soup should be served in cookhouse instead of standard meals. Oh, this time we get that. Ooh, 5 portions instead of 4. Oh, what was the other law option there? Oh, there is none. Oh, I guess it doesn't show after us anymore. They picked. Interesting. Well, that should help a bit. Thumper researched. Nice. It says efficiency improved by 25%, but I don't know if it just gathers faster or if it's actually better. Guess we would want gathering post installation at some point then. Wait, when is the... how they call this? Soon. Maybe we do get the improved heaters and then efficient burners too at some point. Cold thumper and then gathering post. I want efficiency shift for the tech. Once more. I mean, I guess the ill are staying stable. It's not great. If bad news for you, the rules governing your shipments are changed. From now on, food supplies will be sent only after dispatch. A shipment of steel and steam cores our way. We regret the necessity of taking such drastic measures, but they were deemed essential to facilitate timely delivery. Critical supply. We have to talk. Nope. Okay. Well, I guess it's time to send them stuff.
A steadfast supporter.
Mein Leben. It's for the follow. I guess now the goal is to get as much food from them before we get... yeah. And then find the other place as fast as we can. Next. Actually, well, let's heat this then. We have a level 2 drop there soon, that's not good. So our people are angry and anxious about the food situation. A group of experienced explorers here to talk to you about a solution. Cutting our food supply in New London has shown that we can't rely on them. We need to have another source of food. Fortunately, our scouts reported signs of recent human presence to the south. Sent them to investigate. This might be our lucky break. Oops, so actually, you guys need you to come back immediately. Yeah, I should have sent them back home after this. Only. I've been watching my YouTube videos on the second screen while working on the other. Let me to show up a lot in the future, but never say a word in chat. That's fine, man. That's fine. I think most people are lurkers, to be honest. Doesn't matter the game. Majority are lurkers, and that's fine. We're getting too many sick people. Proved he does research. Oh, I guess it has 2 upkeep now, though. A little drain my coal fast. Go for efficient burners so we burn that slower, or maybe get them a medical upgrade and then bunkhouses next. We'll need that soonish. Better insulation would be nice too. Oh, you do all the time, luckily, man. Even Golden says hello. Oh, we can't do any merchant. Like, emergencies, they've done this thing, seems the best thing, because you have 20 workers there. It seems the most efficient. Even though discontent rises with it. And now it's gonna get warmer in a second, so we can turn off heating at least for a moment. What are we gathering here? Steel right now, okay. I need to hold out long enough until we find the next place, but with the... I feel like you really need the scouts to be at home when you are able to go south. Like that day that we're losing might really bite us in the ass. Oh, let's lower all these things. We conserve some coal. Oh, looks like we have the rest of the coal gathered there. Deconstruct this. Then we have some food now, but yeah. we can order one more ration in a bit. I'll send them the next shipment. Michael post upgrade research. Nice. Infirmary would be nice, but let's face it, we can't afford it. Yeah. We'll still want this deal sent them for food as long as we can, and then we'll pick up here, I guess. Burners we can't get yet either. Research the bunkhouses, so once we can use them, well, once we don't have to send steel away anymore, we can just build them. And the scouts are back in a second. Can we do another emergency shift there? At least some food. Next this, so what's that food? Well, soonish. Scout. Faster the better. We're getting enough.
Shift's over. Get some rest, people.
Could actually do another emergency shift on the other tech build. Once this one ends. Which I think it just did. Oh, no, I should have done it here so we can order more food. A lot of discontent we'll get if I do this. Might still be better than having the food issues though. Which, I mean, we already have. Oh, we got the one food bug again. No one wants to take care of that. Those insulation. All of these take steel, which I don't want to use much right now. Bruise. And if it, yeah. If this doesn't work, we might try the wooden supports next time. Wait, everyone's here is in treatment? What's the point of the emergency? The rest is going to eat well. No. Actually, no, we won't use this because then we have to heat it. Guess it's time to turn on the heating again. This one should never be off, honestly. Oh, it's getting cold. Okay. We nearly gain enough coal right now. Nearly. We need way too much. We get 200 steel per day.
Here's to new
But it might just be because
beginnings.
we're having the emergency on the avenue. Yeah. Hey Partisans, thanks for the follow. Cook food, there's already workers in there. The food just arrived during the night. Not like, you know, I'm not waiting for that all the time. Frostpunk house. We need the steel for food right now.
New London is waiting. Get a move on.
Why is it taking them so long? Oh, you know what the best research would have been? Faster scouts. I should have gotten that. I guess we needed the more scouts, and then I think lighter scouts makes them faster. That would be so much better than all the other stuff we've been researching right now. Because then we find the other food source faster. Well. Hang on, how much fuel will the first one of those take? None. Okay. And the next one maybe 20. We let the steel go to 120 and then we switch to cores. But it's something like you can't know that beforehand. Like you have this played once. It might. I mean, I guess it's also because we're playing on hard difficulty. So, because more scouts didn't make sense because there wasn't much left to explore. But yeah, burners researched. Yeah, I mean we can still try to get it. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference. It might not. Oh, they're chilly. We could build more burners in these other places too, but they cost steel too. Didn't write much today, but you like the game, so you must buy it. I think it's really neat. Again, the only issue I had with it back then was that it didn't have enough content, which I guess it didn't change much. Well, I don't have food. I can't feed them. Actually, you can get both the steel cores at the same time. Oh, but that's the base game though, right? Like in this new DLC, like we didn't have enough places to explore. So we didn't need more. In the base game, getting more scouts is really good because you get a lot more things. We're full on wood production, so yeah. Next time the scouts and maybe the wooden things, whatever, for our warehouse. Maybe we can fetch one so we get another food round. I don't know if we'll have time to get another one out. That's in this DLC? Oh, okay. Now I know what you mean. Detected, you can gather both. Yeah, but it doesn't make it faster. It just means you gather both at the same time, but at a slower efficiency. From what I saw, it seems to be you just gather both at 50% efficiency. So the only thing you save is that you don't have to change every now and then. Which to me doesn't seem worth it. I'd rather have other techs. Like it's convenient, I'll grant that. Actually, we don't need that many med bays anymore. Time to research more. Yeah, I can't do more emergency shifts. We're already high on discontent. And it's gonna get worse with people not having food. We have reached the natural terrace. Explore it. He was promising the valley seems cozy by the Frostland standards and invite us to descend into it. There's nothing remarkable in the terrace itself. Yeah, we're running out of time. 15 hours, okay. Like if it was both resources at 60% or something, I'd gladly research that. But from the numbers, it didn't seem that way. But it didn't show all, I guess, decimals, so I don't know for sure. Can we do emergency shift there either? Get the food soon. We'll have our 1 buck raw food. That's why people are gonna die. Oh no, I guess it transformed 2 food into 5 rations, so it can't do anything with 1, maybe. Maybe that's the issue. Someone will eat it because they're too hungry and can't wait for normal food.
Get a move on. There's work to do.
And it reached New London. Look at the food instantly disappear. More scouts researched, yep, and then lighter scouts will be 50% faster. I mean, it'll help a bit because they still have to go 1 trip further, but that is if we finish the tech before night, which we won't. Wood support tech seems like a great way to convert wood into steel cores. Can be traded for food, even at 100 wood a day. Yeah, I think so too. There's no other way to get wood after this runs out, but I guess the scenario might not be that long that you run out of wood anyway. Or it opens up another resource of gathering wood. So I think you're supposed to do that on at least in this difficulty. You also might get away if you get the scout tech faster without doing the wood tech thing. In retrospect, yeah, probably should have done those 2 things. Also, we did the wrong emergency shift over here in one of the gathering posts. That wasn't helpful at all. I might do an emergency shift. Just so we get that tag fast. Not really losing coal, so we don't have to turn off anything for heating anyway. No one's working here, right? Otherwise we could do one here, but
Time for a breather. See you
we
tomorrow.
got 2 cores. Switch it over to steel. I think it might be too late anyway. Valley seems to have its own microclimate. It's less cold and the waterfall, although frozen, appears to have been flowing relatively recently. Looking further into the valley we find the remains of a grove. A large number of stumps is all that's left in it. Someone cut it down and not too long ago. We found some fresh chips under the snow. And go to the hot springs. It'd be nice if I could get one more shipping of food from the other place, but probably not. Let's research. Nice. If we can't send it, we might get the coal mining now anyway. Oh well. Wooden supports, just so I see how it works, and then if we might need a lot of steel now anyway to upgrade all the houses soonish. Actually, it's getting warmer. It's not an emergency. Hang on, how's the favor? Favor is high. Send food. Need more raw food. No, we can't afford it. Well, screw you then. Ask for more people, but that just, you know, it's gonna worsen the food problem. Never mind. Oh well, some food would have been nice. A lot of people are having food issues. Feed structure things. Raw food. Small settlement built under the cover of rocks in which several dozen people live. It consists of several sturdy buildings and 2 large greenhouses heated by hot springs. Amazingly, people live here, and not only do they grow their own food, but they are willing to share it. This enclave life clinging to a few hot springs was settled after the Great Storm by people from a town which survived with the help of another city. They set up the hothouse here and planted the seeds, as they say, to pass the gift of life. He gave us some food as a gesture of goodwill and eager to trade more in exchange for help expanding the settlement. Horrific. I'll bring that food out home immediately. And then it was hot springs. Now that we found a promising food source, we should form a construction team unit in a transport depot and send them to hot springs. Build a permanent trading depot. Yeah, we will do that. We need nobody in here right now. Oh, that costs steel though. Nasty. Oh, we still need to do that though. And support research. Okay. First off, plus 50 wood. Yeah. We'll boost the output. I really want the upgrade here, but it's 50 steel too. So that's not too helpful right now. Infirmary would be nice long term too. Also we can more engineers here. And post insulation. Potentially more scout teams we're gonna send out in a bit. Oh wait, I really need to and form them and then send them to Hot Spring. Well, if we hold out a bit longer, we might be able. Maybe we can do one more shipment to London. That would be the dream, I guess. Could do another emergency shift here. Oh, I guess I probably to have someone working here or no. Now that we used up food. Which are chilly in places, okay. But it's gonna warm up in a bit. We're fine. Unless I wanna... I don't want my engineers to fall in right now. Ill now right now, so... I'm checking really fast right now. All mining researched. Nice. Insulation for these houses would be nice too, I guess. Oh, anything that costs only wood. Yeah. Wait, it costs steel, damn it. I didn't want to use up steel. Yeah, before we deal with that, just give me a bit more steel. You know, so I can... More food? No, can't afford it. Okay. Just want to do one more trade here. And then we can deal with this. They did want some kind of healthcare, yeah. The problem is I didn't... wanted to have the steel for one more food trade with New London. And now we can research all the other stuff. I don't know what they want for their healthcare, like it just said some kind of it. I'm gonna address this right now. This is Coal mine. Now we can research to make this more efficient or get the healthcare stuff. Maybe we do that so we can... If we can get anything. No. Anything useful there. Waiting. The trading depot. So people rejoice at the news of the food deal with Hot Springs. We might still have somehow turn this favor. Have to somehow return the favor, but we'll do it on our own terms. Exactly. Oh, nope, still can't communicate with them. The people did a great job setting up the trading depot so quickly. Now we can start helping each other. We're sending you our surplus of food, and we can give you more if you provide us with resources necessary to expand our settlement. Hopefully you could also assist us with improving our housing and healthcare. We have problems, can you help us? We need food. Thank you. And then see if we can do anything for them. Oh, probably no. Now we have 3 crates of food incoming. Will help us settle for a bit. I guess we lost the people of our trading post here. Interesting. And we get food from our scouts. So we had to invest 10 workers to permanently stay there. Okay, the scouts returned. I'm over there. Yeah, people are falling sick again. Didn't. Okay. Not the one we put the emergency shift in. Oh, no gather resources in range. Well, let's try this. Put those. Put this on. Put them over here. Need heating if no one's in there. We would be doing much better if we just had a proper leader. Well, thanks.
Hurry up,
How much food?
a quota to fill.
Hold at home? Really? Yeah, I guess. Still no food? Nope. Sawmill upgrade research. Nice. Yeah, I guess I don't know which healthcare. I guess they might want the infirmary. Could research that or get the upgrade thing here. House insulation. Insulation might be nice too, though. I guess I don't know what those do. Oh, maybe we make increase the radius and how much heat they put out. Let's research the infirmary in case that's what they want. Or... yeah. Can't believe it, we have food. Commend you for finding another settlement. Making initial contact with the representative. The crops will provide a very timely aid to our food security. However, we have to remind you that all external connections and food distributions networks are to be handled directly from New London. Immediately cease contact with Hot Springs and hand over the raw food you received. We need to talk. If they don't have time for us, then I don't have food for you. You sent me food. Oh, well then screw you. Again. Well, had enough. Poor people are rioting. They refuse to follow orders from New London. No more masters, chant them up. Enough is enough. Minor waves, medic in the air. Bloody bastards, she shouts. They treat us like dirt, abuse our kids, and now they want us to just give up our only hope for survival. No way. People have tracked the office workers from the outpost administration to kick them out of the outpost as they stand. Should we intervene to let the clerks prepare for the journey to New London? I don't know what happens if you give them a chance, but send them back as they stand. Things are fine. We just pissed off Big Brother. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, they're going home. Hot Springs. What can I do for you? Oh. We're best friends now. Woman in despair. A woman is sitting in the snow pit holding her dead husband's hand, crying her heart out. Perhaps you should have agreed to give people proper burials after all. I did what I had to do. So many issues. You treacherous scum. Your outpost is officially disbanded and you all will be tried for treason upon your turn. You have 3 weeks to convince us that you've changed your ways and wish to remain loyal citizens of New London. After that you'll be hauled back to manacles and may God have mercy on your soul.
Don't bury the food.
Hey Fafjushna. This was New London speaking. Over and out. Bollocks. Thanks for the 9 months, man. Very much appreciated. Oh no, we're not gonna bury potential food sources yet. Yeah, we have a lot of food for now, so we can survive for a bit. And we'll get steam cores here soon too. Can we communicate with them now? No. I wanna see what they actually want. Seek help in Frostland. With the communications cut, there's no way for us to walk back from the brink, even if our people cool down and have second thoughts about the whole independence declaration. Can only prepare to confront what we must assume will be punitive expedition coming from New London. For this we will need much more manpower and resources than we have, so let's try and find some more people in Frostland. Maybe there are other settlements like Hot Springs. It's also worth asking them for help. I see. Okay, so first things first, we need another scout team. Yes, we don't have enough workers now. We have so many in here. I guess we don't need that as many in here, because we only have one gathering post anyway. I'll create some scouts. To high pass. Maybe a nice viewpoint. And then, well, I guess they're halfway there. They'll go there and then they can go to one of these places. Uncle Joe. Well, let's find Uncle Joe then, if he has more tanks for me. We need help against London. Sorry to hear that we've caused you clash with New London. If you help, we might be able to support you later in your struggle. We'd be great if you could help us with setting up basic healthcare and building bunkhouses. Like manpower and resources to this by ourselves, we dread that we won't survive in others. Improve our health can send people to help. Like it removed the bunkhouses. Yes, I don't know how to send people to help. Like, do we need another construction team? Or we research the healthcare and then go from there. If that is what they want. Harsh words were said, reckless decisions were made, but we can't turn back time. We should now focus on searching Frostland in hopes of finding other people. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Moving a settlement. You have a chance to have another development settlement. To do so, you need to gather the resources and send them as a shipment from the outpost, administration building, or from the settlement panel. Oh. But there's no options here, no? Improvements are grouped in tiers. Settlements will ask for the necessary improvements first. Basic needs are met, more advanced improvements will become available. 3 types of improvements: food, industry, and housing and healthcare. And settlements have different needs, and sending improvements can trigger events which will require your decisions. Oh, I can switch here. Okay. So for 30 wood and 50 iron we can get 2. Wait, we can get 30 food for 5 workers? But I guess that helps the long-term investment. Interesting. It seems best to do the other things. Like, we can do this to get more food, but this will put us on their good side. Well, we might want to do that. Maybe we get more food if we upgrade their pump, but we don't have steam cores right now, so... Basic dwellings. Or you can even send multiple ones. Well, that'll make things a lot better. I need steam cores ones to send, and then also we need the coal here now. But that's 15 people we invested in the other settlement then. Like, I guess I don't know where we find more people right now. Coal mine next, and then might need bunkhouses. Two steam cores, and then we get more steel. Okay, finally things are, you know, not looking terrible. For a bit. I need that many workers here in here anymore. We have the maximum amount in there. Okay. I like this a lot more now. Dimension Stormwatch. Ooh, survive as well. 30 built Nansen Stormwatch survived the storm and rises proudly over the snow. It's here that we have seen the last races of the fearless polar. Walls are free of ice, someone must be inside. Ah. Inside we find a group of people huddled by a big stove. They say that they were rescued by Nansen from a whaling ship trapped in ice right before the Great Storm. The explorer brought them here and ventured further north to study the changes brought to the world by the Great Storm. They survived thanks to a store of fuel and rations from nearby, which is now running out. I'd just escort them home. Don't want to lose them. There might be food down here if we ever get there. What people get sick from all the time. Now that New London no longer controls our affairs, many of our people say they feel free for the first time in their lives. True, we lost their guidance and support, but we gained independence. We don't have to do their bidding, ask permission to cook soup. We can pass our own laws and decide what to do. Sure. Change the name of our town. didn't change the name. Okay. Oh. Well. Go with good old Kensington. And then we can pass laws now. Nice. I guess we don't need child labor now. We could do child shelter. Organ transplant. Body parts of the deceased to save lives. I think recover faster would be helpful for us, actually. Big house. Dueling law. We're not doing dueling. Well, we don't need radical treatment, and it's like we can't select this though. I've never had child shelters. We might try that. And then get medic apprentices, engineer apprentices. We might help with that because we don't have enough of that anyway. How many kids do we have, by the way? Well, 15. It's just... that right there. Oh, I guess we're also getting new people, huh? Well... Unless they're not in heating range. Heat of this. We need better heating, I guess. Could give those the bunk houses already. At least until we give them heating. Or maybe we can build this differently. Put this here, it should be fine. And we need roads. Don't have the tech for bigger range yet. Haven't researched that. Because we didn't need it so far. I think the first core we'll use for us, and then the next one we'll send to the other place. Children is ready and the children are safe inside. People can work without worrying that something will happen to the kids. Here we go. Hope rises, discontent lowers. Excellent. Well, it's not low enough, you know, for another thing here, but we're using up a lot of wood now. We might need to plant another sawmill somewhere. But I guess it would destroy stuff. I don't want to destroy any of the trees. Oh, it got pretty warm. So stockpile some. Yeah, no, not this one. Stockpile some coal. researched. Nice. Yeah, I think it's time to get hired. Oh, no, we don't have the wood anymore. Interesting, like we had more than enough wood for all this time, and now that's our issue. Compose. Can wait a second, I guess. How much do sawmills cost? And wood. Once we start the research, we might build another one for the new people coming. They can do sawmill stuff too. Safely returned. Also, I guess can work longer hours now. Great, research this. Oh, fully populate these places. That'll give us coal again. We'll have to move the sawmills around, I guess. Oh. Not even enough wood for the street. Also, my scouts are waiting. Oh yeah, true, they returned. Is it caverns or good station? I mean, I don't know what is on each place anyway, so I see caverns it is. I really like this game. I think it's pretty great. Again, my biggest problem was that there wasn't enough content on release. So, but I think it's a really neat game. It doesn't have replayability, so at least not for me. So if you're like hoping for a city builder that you're gonna spend hundreds of hours in, then I don't think it's the game, but I mean, this is the one scenario that it's a DLC, so I guess it's, you know, not free. So far it's interesting. Like I haven't played the game in forever, so I guess a lot of it is similar to the base game, but I'm enjoying it again. Just wanted to thank you. Back in London, it was only the wealthy that didn't have to send their kids to work. In this new world you're creating, we can see things differently. It was the right thing to do, obviously. Wait, we have more engineers too. Put them in here. We might need another tech building actually. Oh. Well, it needs more wood. It's something. Okay, build this. We don't have idle engineers, but we have too many in the med posts now, I think, sometimes. So. And then the workers will go in this once it's constructed. Also, I guess we're gonna build coal mine as soon as we have the wood for it. But those people want, well, all the things we don't have. And again, we have to trade with them soon enough, because we have food right now, but it'll drop soon again.
Shifts over. Leave your workplaces in order.
And it shifts though. There's no slacking. Well, I guess we don't need it for the coal right now. We have enough. That is because we turned it off. Scouts have reached the high pass. We hoped we found a path leading safely to the other side. There's also a sheltered place here. We could rest for a while. Probably not only we found the path to a convenient bit over the mountains. Bonfire remains and other evidence attest that people camped here. However, they all seem cold. Windy beach. Oh no, that's the other side. After that, bottom of the gully spotted with dark shape. The avalanche left 2 trucks lying here. Oh, let's go there. I'm glad we researched the scout speed after all. It was a bit late, but yeah, it seems to be now really useful. And we can get another law. Medicine is key to our future. Let's teach our children medicine so they can help us sick. Research will help at medical facilities, raising their efficiency. And for children will help at workshops, speeding up research. I guess at some point we should have researched everything. I think I'd rather have them help the medic stuff. We can always do that. Non-medicine shelters help us the sick. I guess it would be nice to see how much it actually does. 0.015. Oh, I guess because it's free time, they're not there right now. I don't know how people are still hungry when we have 140 food right now. And I guess we should switch to steel again. Yeah, we don't need that many engineers in medic buildings. Getting colder, we might need better houses for everyone soonish. The workers in here, long shifts. Yeah, I might have to send them the first coal first before we build the coal production. Just so they might produce more food and we get some food for it. How much is 30 wood? 50. And prepare. And then maybe we do the helping hands at some point too. Just want to be on the good side with them. Oh yeah, we don't have anyone in there. Now research tier 3 technologies. Nice. Yeah, houses is a bit expensive for us. Farmers will employ fewer people. Yeah, I guess infirmary would be nice in the first place, but we don't have enough steam cores right now. Warehouse insulation. We might need that, because it's always cold in there. Gathering. Reduce the temperature around any bracer by 2 levels at the cost of doubling its coal use. And the rate. More efficient. Almost all of them cost resources we don't have right now. Oh. Well, I'm broke. Gotta wait for some steel. Maybe I should do another emergency shift there. I mean, this content isn't the best, but it's also terrible. Let's get a bit more steel. And then we can take something better. What's the coldest place? Yeah, I mean, if this drops another one, it's gonna be chilly there all the time. Like, the medical post, if we have it on, it'll heat nicely. Without waiting, yeah, I should have done that. I saw it and then wanted to do the taxing first. I just need more resources of everything right now. Oh, no. As we get closer, it turns out that these are not rocks but huge rusted cages. There are frozen bodies inside, and some lie around the cages as well. People were killed some time ago. The frozen bodies have been partially scavenged by animals. They lie scattered without any semblance of order or respect. If any doubts whether the bodies were thrown here deliberately, a sign at the entrance to the gully dispels them. No man will have rule over others for all time. Convicts of Frostland. These are people bodies of the overseers who guarded convicts working on Frostland, and these cages were used to transport convicts from place to place. I've got some steel. In the middle of the white wasteland, we see a wreck of a sea-going ship. I guess. No, that's not how it works. How much is that coal mine? Built that up. Let's do that then. And we'll put some workers from here to there. Or we don't need here anyway. And we can send some, yeah, send them helping hands. Can you communicate with them? Favors high. Can I help you? Well, I guess it might have to reach them. Problems. Need a lot of food. Oh, I might just ask for one food. Interesting, they wanted workers, but now we can ask them for workers. That's kind of weird. Give me some food. Where's their favor average now? Okay, that's okay. Anybody's, I assume they're all, they died before, you know, it was all rotten and the animals ate everything, I suppose. Maybe not. Can we establish a nice religion? Well, usually you have the option between religion and, I guess, law and order in this game. At least in the main game. Of cancellation researched. Nice. Could improve the efficiency of those. Or get the insulation for that place. We said a while ago we would need. Turn that off.
Time for a breather. See you tomorrow.
I really need more wood and steel. Although people are concerned about the low temperatures in their homes, the question point that it's easy to fall ill when it's cold and ask you to address the problem. But to start heating 6 of the cold homes in 2 days and keep them heated for 2 days. We could just heat them all. I mean, I was about to turn those on anyway. Oh. Oh, there's one tent that's outside the radius. I guess I can't build it inside though. Might need the extra range after all. Wait them here at least so they don't, you know, freeze to death. They're already on emergency shift. Oh, scouts are reaching places, nice. Guns might be sheltered to white elements, but it's possible that some people hit here anyway. We have weapons with us. Lore. In case we find frozen human corpses torn apart by wild animals. By the bodies, we found boxes with documents containing the results of some scientific research we cannot comprehend. No trace of animals, and there's nothing of interest for us here. Oh, there's food. There you go, we got your corpses. Strangling with tent, strangely familiar territory. Yeah. Strange devices protruding through the snow draw our attention. I think this is where the weather station once stood. Yep, go there. Reach the settlement built around the shipwreck. We guessed that before the arrival of Frost there must have been a sea here. And is populous, but its inhabitants meet us with distrust, even hostility. No kings, only men. Convicts were widely used on Frostland to build generators, deceived by false promise of amnesty and return home. Most of them were worked to death, carried on prison ships from one construction site to another. Some of them have rebelled, and those we met here were successful. They killed their guards, took over the ship, and set up their own settlement, away from London's power. The hull of the ship, heated by steam boilers, protected them from the great storm. Hearing that we too have rebelled against our masters, they seem to warm up to us. That's great news. I guess we need another construction. We might need more workers now, because... yeah, if we need a construction team for every settlement, that's 10 workers every time. That's not good. Can send the scouting team here. I don't have that many workers. Maybe we can find more at some point, but... oh, it needs 50 steel anyway. Well, match that. It's working anyway. We're getting 2 crates of food soonish too, though. That's pretty good. Let me help you. Still say improve our healthcare. I don't know how to do that yet. Help us. Well, we could ask for more food, but not yet. Just favor average. Oh, completed industry improvements. I guess that might be when the helping hands are right. It seems basic dwellings does the healthcare part. Their part already. The other ones don't show up yet because we haven't built there. Okay, makes sense. Code is flashing because it's not connected. That might be. Yep. Good point. Repair that. Fix that. That's why this isn't working either. Which actually, let's check temperature. Could be heated. First place. I guess we need better heating now. Like those places are chilly and it's getting colder. Like we can place heaters here, but yeah, it's gonna drain my... It's gonna drain my coal fast then. Which, what are we researching? Insulation for this. You could go for level 4 and then get advanced heaters. Or plant burners in these locations, at least for now. I would like to get this to, like, how much is this upgrade? I really wish you could see what the upgrade does if you get this. Like, is it worth it to save up for that? Probably yes. There's no automation on this one, on this map. Like, we can research a factory, but it only, like, gives us prosthesis. There's no automation tech, unfortunately. We had enough workers for a while, and then suddenly now we need workers for scouting and setting up posts in the other colonies. We can ask them for workers though. Well, not now. It might need more favor, but we were able to ask them for workers earlier. So we might have to, you know, get more favors from them. These are only turning on during working hours, aren't they? Oh, it might be that it's off right now. Yeah. Check. It might be. Also, we have surprisingly few sick people now. I can use more engineers for research. Build one of those. Reach things. Ah, see, now we got that going. People want to build a medical post in our settlement. It's not necessary in our opinion. We have our ways of feeling. The aura of the springs is secure in itself. We don't trust engineers and their mechanical way of thinking. We'd rather not have them around. Can help us in many other ways. Medical post will be unlocked. Hot springs will be displeased. What do they mean, medical post? Like in their facility? I'm not sure what that does. Like, if we unlock the medical post in their place. It might be we might be able to help them later on though. I guess. Well, it's building a medical post in their place, not mine. It sounds like it. Yeah, I feel like they're gonna die if we don't do it, like something happens to them. We'll displease them, but build it, and then hopefully it'll work out. We need it. Wait, now they only send us 20 food? We have to send 5 engineers too? Didn't we just raise the outcome? It's still only 30 food. Well, this seems terrible. Relations neutral. You'll be asked to make many decisions which will affect other settlements depending on your choices. Your relations with these will change. Choices which align with their goals and will make them more loyal to you. Opposing your own worldview will cause them to become more distrustful. Remember that both choices can be valid depending on what you want to achieve. It would be nice still if it told you what it actually did. I guess I don't know where I'm gonna get all these engineers from. Yes, maybe we don't need... Since we don't need that much healthcare, we can send 5 over. You would 20 steel. Then you want 10 workers for helping hands too. So I guess if the relations are better, maybe we get more food. Because we were getting 30 food traded. Now we only get... yeah, nothing. Interesting. Well, we'll explore that more next time. Well, oh, let's still check the temperature in these places. They start working. No, because, yeah, like the sawmills are working already too, and they're Oh no, you were right. They weren't working overtime. True. You were right. They're actually warm enough too. It says maintain livable conditions, which we might not be able to do because it's getting colder. Well, this is a problem. I don't know how long it's resolved in 1 day and 11 hours. Yeah, I don't know if that's resolved in that time. Probably not. Hi, Warlock. I'm gonna end here, so, you know.